Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about four very dangerous new words, which have a different meaning and a different value than they previously had. All right, so one, I'm going to need to say these words to discuss these words, and so going forward, if these words are ever spoken in any way to describe Dungeons and Dragons, they have a different value and a different meaning, and I'll tell you what that value and that meaning is. But they should only be used to warn people not to use them, which means they should be used in as limited a capacity as possible, right? So I'm gonna say them in this video, but going forward, but only as a warning to not say them going forward. And these things should be phased out within 12 months. There should be no longer a need to warn people about it after that. But here we go. So what are these dangerous words? It's Dungeons and Dragons 6e. It's four incredibly dangerous words. All right, now, there are people who are using it right now to describe Dungeons and Dragons that will arrive in 2023, okay? Now, what's happening, all right? So these people think that the value and the meaning of those words is to describe Dungeons and Dragons that will arrive in 2023, right? But what is the actual value and the actual meaning? So one, the words Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition do not describe any Dungeons & Dragons that has ever existed or ever will exist. The Dungeons & Dragons design team has said not only will there not be a Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition, they have made it clear there will never be a 7th, an 8th, a 9th, any edition, right? There will never, ever again be a Dungeons & Dragons edition. Editions are done. And the reason why is all they do is divide. Right, and they have been and the edition wars were a very real thing, and raged from 1970, raged for 48 years, right? But they're finished. Okay, so what is the new value and the new meaning of Dungeons and Dragons 6th edition when somebody says it to describe an upcoming Dungeons and Dragons, right? What is actually being said? Well, I can tell you right now, nothing is being said about it. When you hear the words Dungeons and Dragons 6th edition, nothing is being said about Dungeons and Dragons, because there has never been a Dungeons and Dragons 6th edition. There will never be a Dungeons and Dragons 6th edition. But these words are incredibly valuable and incredibly meaningful. They say, hey, I, the person who am describing Dungeons and Dragons in this way, I'm a dead namer. I want you to understand that I am what you fear and what you detest. I am a repugnant human being. I'm a dead namer. When Cassius Clay said, I am now Muhammad Ali, I still called him Cassius Clay. I preserved prejudice. I did not extend courtesy or respect. I did not extend respect when it was requested or when it was due. Right? They're saying, I am what you fear in the dark. I am a prejudice preserver. I am a champion of prejudice. Right? I'm the person says, I understand, Robert, that your name now is Patricia. I'm going to dead name you. I'm going to bring up every horrible thing that you remember. I'm going to bring up every division in your life. I am a dead namer. I am a prejudice person. I am a champion of division. I am hatred incarnate. Dungeons & Dragons 6e is a dead name. And when people use it, they're saying, watch out for me. I am the repugnant human being you were warned about by your mother and your father. I am the person who strives and struggles and does everything possible to keep others down based on what they are and who they are. Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition is a dead name, and people who use it are dead namers. They are repugnant people who denied Cassius Clay the real name he had, which was Muhammad Ali, right? They deny people transitioning from Robert to Patricia. They are dead namers. They need to be carefully watched, right? And you need to carefully watch them to notice who they are, and then immediately leave any commentary they're leaving and leave their spheres and leave them behind, right? Anyone who uses the term Dungeons & Dragons 6e is a dead namer, and you can bet their prejudice does not end at Dungeons & Dragons. They are there to make sure others are not given the respect they're due. They are incredibly dangerous. They are incredibly repugnant, and we need to be very, very careful to recognize them. The only meaning, the only value, and the only meaning that Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition holds anymore is to identify a repugnant dead namer. That's all you're seeing there. Be very careful around these people. They are the worst of our society. We're desperately trying to get to a point of harmony, to get where Martin Luther King, pointed us to get to a point of harmony. Recognize a dead neighbor when you see one, and be very careful around them. Well, that's my humble opinion. I'd like to hear your humble opinion. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.